Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating text that suggests a pretty radical new way of looking at reality itself. It's a journey that's going to challenge some of the most basic things we think we know about the world. So let's just start with the one question that's at the absolute core of this whole worldview. What if the physical world around you, yeah, the chair you're in, the screen you're looking at, what if it only becomes solid, only takes form in the exact moment you observe it? To even get our heads around this, we first have to totally redefine the word reality. From this point of view, it's not one single solid thing. It's more like a constant dance between two very different states of being. So this model basically splits reality in two. On one side, you've got what it calls information. This is pure, formless potential. Think of it like a massive digital blueprint for everything that could possibly exist. Then on the other side, you have physical experience. That's when one tiny piece of that blueprint becomes real, but here's the catch. It only happens for that tiny instant we call now. The second that moment is over, poof, it dissolves right back into potential.
So what's the bridge? What connects all that formless potential to the actual, tangible reality we experience? Well, according to this framework, it's consciousness. Your awareness, my awareness, is the thing that reaches into that ocean of information and pulls out a single holographic reflection for us to experience.
And that brings us to what is maybe the most critical concept in this entire system, the absolute total power of the present moment, the power of now. This is the fundamental rule. It's not negotiable. The past, that's just information that's already dissolved. The future, that's information that hasn't taken form yet. The only thing that is ever truly 100% real is this exact second. Anything else, by definition, is false. Now, this has a pretty wild implication. If reality only gets formed in the now, it means our collective belief in this moment can literally shape what's real. The text calls propaganda a paintbrush for physical reality. The idea here is that if you can get enough people to believe a story is true, their collective act of looking for confirmation can actually write that story into existence. Okay, so if only the present moment is real and it's being shaped by our consciousness, what does that mean for the big, solid world around us? I mean, what about something as fundamental as the planet Earth? This perspective offers a surprisingly radical answer to one of our most basic questions, and you can forget flat versus round. The answer here is neither. And the claim here is that the Earth isn't some solid rock with a fixed shape just floating out there in space. Instead, it's a field of light that only takes on a shape when we, an observer, perceive it. If there's no one there to look, it has no shape to begin with. So what about the sky, the dome we see above us? This model says it's basically an optical illusion created by you. It works like this. Light radiates out from you, the observer. At the very edge of how far you can see, that light runs out of steam and dissipates, which creates a natural curve. Then, your eye, with its own curved lens, interprets that boundary as the illusion of a dome. It's not a real structure out there, it's just a limit created by your own biology. And this leads to a complete reversal of how we normally see things. You aren't living in the world you experience is living inside you. As the quote puts it, the world, spelled W-H-I-R-L-E-D, literally lives in your mind. Okay, let's get into how this reality is supposedly programmed. According to this source, the actual code that writes reality is hiding in plain sight. It's in the words we use every single day. Take the word world. The text suggests it's not a place, it's a process. It decodes it as world, a spinning spiral where everything that's not in the present moment is constantly being whirled into the past. This means existence isn't a straight line, it's a cycle. And that idea of a spiral leads right to the next bit of wordplay. Spy real. To spy the real is to see true. The idea is that by looking closely at the spiral of existence, you can actually spot the glitches, the seams in the program, and see the truth of how it all works. This coded language even gets applied to geography. Get this, America is interpreted as a phonetic breakdown. A mirror I see a. This completely recasts the continent as a kind of reflection or a mirror for the observer. So, if you follow that logic, this worldview creates a completely new world map. It's not based on borders or physical landmasses, but on symbolic, metaphysical functions. In this symbolic map, the two American continents become the two hemispheres of a global brain. North America is seen as the right brain machine, all about logic, order, and structure. And South America is the left brain spirit, representing intuition, nature, and flow.
And what's between the two halves of the brain? The pineal gland, often called the third eye. Well, look at a map. Positioned right there between the two continents is Jamaica, which is cast in this very role. The seat of intuition, of higher perception, of true awareness.
To make it even clearer, the source uses a concept that any sci-fi fan will recognize. Think of America as the holodeck, a totally immersive artificial simulation. Jamaica, on the other hand, is the main deck. It's the control room, the place of real, authentic awareness that exists outside of the simulation.
So, where does all of this take us? This whole journey through perception and language and this strange new geography, what's the end goal? Well, it's a radical new understanding of yourself and your place in all of this.
You know, we hear the term singularity a lot, but this framework points out that the little suffix, "ity," actually implies a quality of something, which creates a separation. The ultimate goal, it suggests, is to just drop the ity and realize a state of being singular, just one, whole, without any division. And this leads to the final and maybe the most challenging point. In this singular state, you realize that anyone or anything else that claims to be self-aware is just another part of your own reflection. It needs your belief to even seem real to you. The final step is to sit with that deep discomfort of the solo reflection, the realization that there is no other.
And so that's what we're left with. One last, really provocative question. If everything you experience is just a holographic reflection of your own consciousness, then the ultimate question isn't what is reality? The real question is, what are you reflecting?